Cars hold a special place in some people's hearts, much like a loved one. And when they stop manufacturing unexpectedly, people have the same symptoms of grief, anger, denial, etc. So today we are taking a special look at American cars killed before their time on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. One of my first cars was a '76 Pinto. I had a few friends that had Pinto hatchbacks that they turned into little street rods. They stopped making the Pinto a few years later. My street rod friends wailed about the stupidity of the act, claiming the car was one of the better ones in the Ford lineup, etc. What was your favorite car that they don't make anymore? Tell me down in the comments. Usually I do, here's what we need to know, but there's not really much to know for the background on this one. I mean, after a little bit of internet research and a chat with a few car guys I know, I'm just picking 5 of the most obvious cars killed while still popular. I have to limit this video to American cars only because there's just way too many if I include international cars. I'll do those in a separate video. Weird thing number 5, the Dodge Viper. Manufactured from 1992 to 2017 with brief hiatuses in 2007, 2010, and 2011. The Viper was an iconic American sports car known for its aggressive styling and high performance capabilities. Despite its fan base, it was discontinued in 2017 due to financial constraints and a shift in focus at Dodge. In its earlier generations, the Dodge Viper didn't have external door handles or roll-up windows. Instead, the doors were hinged like those on a race car, and to open them, drivers needed to reach inside. And additionally, the first-generation Viper had side curtains for the windows rather than traditional roll-up windows. The initial concept for the Dodge Viper was sketched on a napkin by then Chrysler President Bob Lutz during a conversation with Tom Gale, Chrysler's Vice President of Design, in 1988. The first generations of the Dodge Viper, particularly the first generation, 92 to 95, were designed without modern electronic driving aids such as stability control and anti-lock brakes. The absence of these features, combined with the Viper's powerful V10 engine and rear-wheel drive setup, made it a challenging car to drive, especially for those less experienced with high-performance vehicles. Weird thing number 4, the Chevy Impala, 1958 to 2020. The Chevy Impala was a classic American full-size sedan known for its comfortable ride and iconic design. It was discontinued as consumer preferences shifted towards SUVs and crossovers. In the 1977 model year, Chevy introduced the Impala Capri, essentially combining elements of the Impala and Capri models. However, due to consumer confusion and a desire to capitalize on the popularity of the Capri name, Chevy decided to drop the Impala partway through the model year, making the full-size car simply the Chevy Capri. The Chevy Impala has a history of being used as a police car. In the 2000s, the 9th generation Impala gained popularity among police departments across the United States. Oddly, the police version of the Impala became so widely adopted that it started to become more recognizable as a law enforcement vehicle rather than a civilian car. The 2020 model year marked the end of the road for the Chevy Impala as a sedan. Interestingly, the Impala was one of the last full-size sedans produced by an American automaker as the market shifted heavily towards SUVs and crossovers. The discontinuation of the Impala symbolized the decline of traditional sedans in favor of more utility-oriented vehicles. Weird thing number 3, Ford Thunderbird, 1955 to 2005. The Ford Thunderbird, often referred to as the T-Bird, was a legendary 2-seater convertible that gained popularity as a sports car. It underwent various design changes over the years, but was eventually discontinued due to declining sales and a shift in Ford's product strategy. Now, when Ford introduced the Thunderbird in 1955, it wasn't marketed as a sports car, but rather as a personal luxury car. This distinction positioned it as a comfortable and stylish vehicle, combining performance with upscale features. The Thunderbird was Ford's response to the Chevy Corvette, but it took a different approach by focusing on comfort and amenities. The second generation Thunderbird, 1958 to 1960, featured a distinctive design element, a removable fiberglass tonneau cover. This cover could be placed over the rear seats, transforming the Thunderbird into a 2-seater convertible with a streamlined appearance. While it was a unique feature, it didn't prove as popular, and Ford discontinued it after the 1960 model year. In the early 1980s and 90s, the Thunderbird took a different direction with the introduction of high-performance models. The Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, introduced in 1983, featured a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and advanced aerodynamics. Later, the Thunderbird Super Coupe came with a supercharged V6 engine, showcasing Ford's commitment to performance during a time when many American cars were focusing on fuel efficiency. Weird thing number 2, the Chevy SSR, 2003 to 2006. The Chevy SSR, the Supersport Roadster, was a retro-styled convertible pickup truck that combined classic design elements with modern performance. Despite its unique appeal, it was discontinued after a short production run due to sales. But if you ever run across an SSR owner, they will pitch the qualities of the SSR like it's a cult. And maybe it is. The design inspiration for the Chevy SSR can be traced back to the early 2000s when Chevy unveiled a concept vehicle at the 2000 Detroit Auto Show. The concept was based on the 1947 to 1953 Chevy Advanced Design trucks. The positive reception to the concept led to the decision to put the SSR into production. One of the unique features of the SSR was the retractable hardtop, which transformed the pickup into a convertible. The battery-operated steel hardtop could be retracted with a touch of a button, turning the SSR from a closed-roof pickup to an open-air roadster. This blending of a convertible top with a pickup design was a totally unconventional approach at the time. The SSR had limited production run, with approximately 24,150 units produced over the course of its 3-year production period. Despite its distinctive design and innovative features, the SSR faced challenges from the market, and its production was discontinued after a relatively short period. The limited number of units produced has contributed to the SSR's status as a collector's item. And finally, weird thing number 1, the Pontiac GTO. 1964 to 74 and 2004 to 2006. The Pontiac GTO was a classic American muscle car that enjoyed popularity in the 60s. It was reintroduced in the early 2000s, but faced challenges and was eventually discontinued as part of General Motors' decision to phase out the Pontiac brand. The Pontiac GTO is often affectionately referred to as the GOAT, which a lot of people think of as greatest of all time, but the origin of the nickname, it kind of hits various theories. Some suggest it came from the word GTO itself, while others believe it originated from the famous The GOAT advertising campaign in the 60s, featuring a GTO breaking through a barn door with the tagline, "The Great One, GTO." The second generation GTO, produced from 68 to 72, faced a unique controversy related to its hidden headlights. Due to government regulations at the time, the headlights had to be visible even when not in use. Pontiac ingeniously designed the GTO with hidden headlights that rotated into position when needed. However, some owners discovered a workaround to keep the headlights hidden, leading to occasional run-ins with law enforcement. In the early 2000s, Pontiac revived the GTO nameplate by importing a version of the Holden Monaro from Australia. This 2004 to 2006 iteration of the GTO was criticized for its unassuming appearance, lacking some of the distinctive styling cues of the classic GTO models. The decision to use an Australian platform sparked debate among enthusiasts about the car's true heritage and its adherence to the spirit of the original American muscle car. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you loved it. If I missed a car you think should definitely have been included, or you know something really weird about one of the ones I did, let me know down in the comments. Today's code word is RIP, rest in peace. Put that in the comments and I won't say anything, but you and I know it's there. Take care, have a great night.